Welcome back to Impact Math with Miss Taylor. Okay, we're going to be doing factoring difference of squares. So it says factor the difference of squares 16x squared minus 1. So whenever you have difference of squares, you're going to go to two parentheses right away. Inside those parentheses, you're going to have a plus and a minus. This is the formula for difference of squares, okay? Now, what we're asking ourselves is, what times itself can give you 16x squared? Well, a 4x times a 4x will give us 16x squared, because 4 times 4 is 16, x times x is x squared. So we put that here, 4x and 4x. Then over here, we ask ourselves, what times itself will give us 1? Well, 1 times 1 will give us 1. And this is how you factor a difference of squares. All right, let's go to the next. Factor the difference of squares 144k squared minus 1. All right, so we're going to start with our two parentheses, because when you do a difference of squares, always start with two parentheses. Remember, a difference of squares always has to have a plus and a minus. Now we're going to go up to here and we're going to ask ourselves, what times itself will give you 144? Well, 12k times 12k, because k times k gives us k squared and 12 times 12 gives us 144. So this is going to go here and here, 12k and 12k. And then we're going to ask ourselves, what times what gives us 1? Well, 1 times 1 gives us 1. So we put 1 and 1 here, and this is our answer. Okay. Number 3, factor the difference of squares. Alrighty, now, step 1. Check for GCF, greatest common factor, okay? So when we look here, we're looking to see that 4 goes into both of these. So our GCF is going to be 4, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to divide out 4. So I'm going to write my GCF on the outside. 16 divided by 4 is 4z squared, minus these 4's cancel and we're left with x squared. Now, if you notice, we still have a difference of squares in the middle here. So we're going to write our two parentheses, and our difference of squares always has a plus and a minus. And then we ask ourselves, what times what can give us, what times itself can give us 4? Z squared. Well, 2z and 2z. So 2z times 2z. Then we ask ourselves, what times what gives us x squared? Well, x times x does. And don't forget to drop down your GCF that you took out. And this is your beautiful answer. All right, let's go to the next. So factor the difference of squares 162x squared minus 8z squared. All righty, so here our step 1 is going to look for the GCF. Find the GCF, okay? And so what we see is that 2 can be going to both of these because these are even numbers. So our GCF is 2. So I'm going to divide this by 2 and divide this by 2. So I'm going to take half of 162, which is 81. I'm going to drop down the x squared, minus half of 8 is 4z squared. All right. I'm going to put a parenthesis on here, and I'm going to put my 2 on the outside, because I should be able to distribute this back in here, which multiply it, and get back to my original. Now, I still have my to factor my difference of squares. So we're going to do a plus and a minus. Now we're asking ourselves what times itself can give us this 81x squared. Well, 9x times 9x gives us 81x squared. So that's going to go here and here. Then we ask ourselves, what times what can give us 4z squared? 2z times 2z. And that's going to go here and here. 2z squared times 2z squared. And don't forget to drop down that GCF that you took out, and that is your final answer. Thank you so much for your support. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. And please share, follow, subscribe, do all the above, okay? And let's go to the last problem. Pause the video here, try it. Okay. Okay, number 5, find the difference of squares. So hopefully you started with your step 1 to check to find the GCF, okay? So our GCF is 2. So we're gonna divide this by 2 and we're gonna divide this by 2. So we're gonna get 9a squared minus half of 98 is 49, okay? I'm gonna put that parenthesis around it and put my 2 on the outside. I should be able to multiply this back in here and make sure I get that. All right, now, whenever we have a difference of squares, we go straight to 2 parentheses, okay? In my parentheses, I'm gonna put a plus and a minus. That is the formula for difference of squares. Now we ask ourselves, what times itself can give us 9a squared? Well, 3a and 3a can. So we get 3a here and 3a here because it starts with the parenthesis. Now we're going to ask ourselves, what times itself can give us 49? Well, 7 times 7. So we're going to put 7 and 7. And most importantly, do not forget to drop down your GCF on the outside. And this is your beautiful answer. Alrighty, I hope this lesson has blessed you and that you know how to factor difference of squares with GCFs, non-GCFs. And I most definitely will catch you on the next one. Bye!